So casual racism is actually about stereotypes, racial stereotypes, right? Now, in any society in the world, there will be stereotypes based on race, based on religion, based on gender. There are stereotypes. It's human nature to stereotype, right? And actually, it is not altogether bad to have stereotypes. And stereotypes actually start with some truth. For example, right? Former Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew described Indians as fractious and contentious, right? More recently, there's this joke about Indians and the crab. They call it the crab joke, right? Now, is there some truth to it? I think so. I think Indians by nature tend to be quite vociferous. We tend to argue a lot. We tend to demand answers. Not necessarily a bad thing, but that's the nature of who we are, right? Now, it may go back to religion, culture and so on, but the truth is, when you give a microphone to an Indian, it'll take a long time before you get it back, like right now, right? So we should be able to laugh at some of those things because it does ring true to some extent. So let's not get defensive about it, you know. Are Indians people of color? I found out about this term people of color when I was studying in the USA, right? I got invited to this function that would celebrate people of color. I thought they found out I was a colorful person. Actually, what they meant is that my color, my skin color, you know, was a little bit more toned, you know. But when someone tells you you are dark, and someone tells me I'm dark, I'm not going to get offended. Why should I get offended with the truth? I am dark. Who am I kidding? But that term, dark, doesn't carry any particular value. But the value is what we give it. If I choose to get offended by the term dark, that's my problem. But the person who is telling you that need not actually say that you are dark in a negative way. Now, we grew up laughing about these stereotypes. There were jokes about these stereotypes, right? Now, all that today is called casual racism. Why? Why do we want to call it casual racism? Is it really racism? I'm not sure if it is. So let me ask you a question. What does the term mama mean? Today when someone calls me or calls an Indian mama, the guy feels the need to get offended. Why? Mama means uncle. The term started because a lot of the provision shops when I was growing up were owned by Indians. A lot of them were Indian Muslim, right? So you go there and say uncle. Instead of saying uncle, in Tamil you say mama, and it became a mama shop. Mama kadai, you know, in Tamil, right? What about bai? Today it's politically incorrect to call someone bai because it means Sikh. But you know what bai means? Bai means brother. You're calling him brother. Since when is it calling someone brother offensive? So you see, these terms in and by themselves don't have any value, positive or negative. It's the value that we impute to it as human beings that gives it the positive or negative flavor. And my concern is today, society is becoming so politically correct that we keep imputing value which is negative. Now, there are all these things going on. But having said that, right, we must also be careful because there are times when these stereotypes are used to offend. Yes? And I think we have all experienced it. They are used to offend people. Now, when that happens, that's racism and that's discrimination, and we should stand up firmly against it and make sure that is stopped. Right? So, that's my understanding of casual racism. It is based on stereotypes. I don't think it's necessarily intended to offend, but it can offend when you're too sensitive. And I think society as a whole has become hypersensitive about what is acceptable, what is not. What is okay for the majority and what is not okay for the minority, whether it's gender, whether it's race, whether it's religion. And I think we should slowly ask ourselves some basic questions. What kind of a society do we want to be a part of? This is Singapore and Singaporean society. Let's not be too keen to become the West. Too keen. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the West, but we are who we are and we should be proud of who we are.